Let's get a bowler's view on Jimmy and just how important he is.
He's the best new ball bowler I've ever seen. Ever seen.
Is he? Michael agrees.
Any country?
Who I've seen live, the best new ball bowler I have ever seen. And I'll tell you why. When he bowls with a new ball in his hand, having done it myself, how hard it is to run in that first through balls and put it on a line, perfect line and length, swinging in to a left-hander. And then he decides, second ball, I'm just going to see what it looks like going the other way and be so accurate, get the length right, get the line right with very little change in action. I've got videos of him. I shouldn't be saying this because I look like I'm a bit of a creep. But I've watched him and I've had his wrist and I've watched him do it in his outswinger and his inswinger. I'm telling you, you can hardly pick any difference in that. To do that is an amazing natural skill. It is. I used to try and bowl it, and I made it dear Alf me. It was so obvious, and I used to think I'd got a good in-swinger. But watching Jimmy bowl, it's just a different ball game. Pollock and McGrath are different bowlers. They back of a length, they hit the seam. Jimmy Anderson is a.
So you reckon he's better than Marshall?
Well, Marshall were pretty good, but Marshall was in Marshall's one of my heroes. But Jimmy Anderson, I would say, is more accurate, and the change in action is very little. Malcolm Marshall was quality. Now, if Jimmy would have been bowling in the 70s and 80s, Jimmy would have been my sporting hero. So that's very hard to compare, that bigger gap in age. What I'm talking about is the people I played against. Wasim Akram were pretty good, but he'd give you four balls, loads of four balls with a new ball. He were better with the old ball. Waqar Younis were brilliant. He were better with the old ball. England were 100 for none every test match, and then they were 130 all out when them two bowled. Glenn McGrath, there were Craig McDermott. There's all these guys who were all quality. Sean Pollock, Alan Donald. But Jimmy Anderson, he's so accurate with that new ball and very little change. This last 4 years, he has been unbelievable. There's no one can lace his boots with a new ball.